Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Paul Brown Show. This evening, my guest will be Mr. Rodney Archer. He's the owner of a concept called Owning Everything. How you doing there, Mr. Archer?
Oh, very good, Paul. Thanks for having me today.
Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, again, my name is Rodney Archer. I'm originally from Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
So, been here since 1999, and of course, Charlotte is one of those places. I always tell people that it's great for hospitality opportunity, and of course, the weather that we've been having. And so, just a regular guy, but who's just very concerned about people, and so we're here to just make a difference.
Okay, what as far as, okay, you said make a difference. What do you mean by that?
Well, when we talk about, really the financial dilemma, in this country, it's something that I feel has not properly been dealt with, that it appears to be a very intimidating factor for most people. Of course, I have a little Facebook account and online. A lot of times people talk about everything else, but
Correct.
when it comes to finances, very little is said. And so it's very important that we deal squarely with this issue and not just talk about the problems, because there certainly are many in regards to the statistics that are out there. 95% of Americans broke, dead, still working at the age of 65. Less than 60% of the people have scores of 659 or less. Less than 3% of the people own their homes free and clear. 50% of Americans basically have $2,000 in their bank account, and really the list goes on and on and on. And so, not to mention Social Security and pensions. Of course, pensions are being eliminated, and Social Security is said to be bankrupt by 2032 at this juncture. And so it's more urgent than ever before, because we have to be in a position to safeguard and secure our future. We do not have the safety net that our parents had, again, with pensions and Social Security. So we have to be on top of it in terms of how this money thing work, and then of course how to engage it properly to ensure that we have a nest egg ready for us as we get older.
Hey, Rodney, what's in your background that makes you the person that you are today?
Well, my background, understand that I didn't necessarily have a father there. I had basically an older gentleman. He was 66 when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
And however, he was like a grandfather to me, and so I was literally attached to his hip. And every time you would see this gentleman, his name was Mr. Walker, you would see me walking right alongside of him. But he took time to just teach me and to just tell me about life. And I remember he always would say that I wouldn't trade you for $1 million. That you're my boy. I wouldn't trade you for $1 million. And so that just instilled, just self-worth and, self-respect from an early age. And certainly have to mention, my mom, who's just been really a rock of Gibraltar for me, and backing, many of my grand ideas from, early on all the way up to even now. And just letting me know, consistently that, whatever it is that, I desire to do, that the sky's the limit, that there's no limitations. And so I think that background has helped me to realize that that anything's possible, and to just go for it, to go for it, because we only live once, and in this life we have to make a mark of some kind.
I know you mentioned prior to what you was talking about is you weren't raised up with your father. What impact was that in your life, and what do you feel that there may have been something missing from being the man you are today, that if you would have had your father in your life?
Well, having a father definitely would have, made a difference. I mean, he came into my life a little later on, But of course, you know, coming up as a teenager, you have questions, and you know, you want to make sense of things. And I remember challenging mom a little bit more, even though I was a good boy. But nevertheless, you know, you got to an age where I was challenging her a little bit more because of, you know, man wasn't in the house, and you know, things just struggling with, you know, the whole manhood identity piece. And so that had to be substituted with deacons in the church, with uncles that I had. And so thank goodness I had those type of people in my life to kind of shape and mold me as, you know, as a man.
Correct.
Yeah.
Owning everything. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
What did that owning everything come from, derive from, and where do you want to take it?
Okay. You know, owning everything, understand, is a, you know, it's a cause. Probably the best way to, and I guess before getting into what it is, let me just talk about, I guess, where it came from. You know, when you talk about scripture in terms of having dominion, having authority, and really, you know, being in control. And so we use the term in regards to, you know, taking control, taking responsibility of owning our time, owning our money, understanding that, you know, the economy does not dictate basically how we live, that we can dictate our own economy. But we have to, again, take responsibility to understand that we have the power to do so. Owning our life, owning our future, our legacy, and so forth, that it cannot be based on, you know, entitlement in terms of just because my last name is, you know, Archer, then I'm entitled to something, or just because I have a great idea, then, you know, somebody's supposed to give me something, you know, or just because I have a college degree, you know, that I'm supposed to have a job. We have to make our way. We have to basically form and shape our world into the destiny that we desire. And so owning everything is just a representation of that. It's a mindset, it's an ideal, it's a way of life that, you know, we can own it. That I even refer it to, you know, houses and cars and things like that. We can own it versus, you know, rent it or versus pay on it. And so that leads me to really the breakdown of what owning everything is. So it's 4 parts, and we look at everything from a more 4-dimensional standpoint, in that, first of all, it's a concept. The concept, again, of owning the cars, owning the houses, you know, the college education, vacation experience, owning it outright, free and clear. And we teach 7 years or less, okay, in owning these things. Secondly, it is a destination, in that we prescribe, you know, 5 key ingredients to arriving at the place of owning everything. And so we deal with 700 plus scores. So we elevate the standard there. Debt freedom. Okay, again, we use the term eliminate it and then leverage it. Real estate. It's the largest expense that we have in our lifetime. And so it's important that instead of renting over long periods of time, that, you know, we not only buy the home, but that we own the home. And then passive residual income streams of $24,000 or more. You master 24,000 a year, you can master 48, master 48, you can master 96,000. So passive residual, in comparison to earned income, is basically creating income. It's either, you know, having your money work for you, or having the ability to create income. And this will, you know, become very important as time goes on. And then finally, there is the equity and assets of $200,000 or more. So again, we set the bar, because if you can master $200,000 in terms of wealth, then you can master 400, 800, and so forth. And so 5 key areas describe the destination of owning everything. So it's a concept, it's a destination, okay? It is a system, it's a financial system, in that we prescribe 3 steps and 3 tools to own it all. So in other words, we're here to simplify the process, to take complicated terminology, if you will, and show people that it's not as as complicated as they made it seem. I oftentimes make the statement that, you know, we're taught traditionally that we need the 401ks, the stocks, the bonds, the mutual funds, you know, the IRAs, the money markets, the CDs, that we need all of these financial instruments to be successful. However, the good news is that though all of them may be useful, none of them are necessary. So that's a bold statement.
Correct.
All right. But we present basically 3 steps, 3 tools, where we lead with financial education, we lead with the premise of money and also universal law. So we build that out so that we're able to set the proper foundation in terms of changing the mindset of individuals to believe that owning everything is possible. That's the first thing. And then we introduce basically tools, meaning there's information and then there's application. So the tools are there so that people can literally embrace financial, more proven, better financial instruments for safeguarding and securing their financial future. And so we teach oftentimes in terms of systems. So there's credit systems, there's cash flow systems, there's business systems, and there's banking systems. We say you master the 4 money systems and you master your financial life. So there's the concept, there's the destination, there's the financial system, and then lastly, we're a movement. We're a national financial initiative, and we're here to literally galvanize the community to be a prototype in Charlotte for the entire nation to follow. And so we've reached out to, you know, politicians in our city, pastors, heads of organizations, business owners, as well as the community at large. And we're saying, look, let's face this dilemma head on. Let's confront it just like we did in the 50s and 60s, but of course in a totally different way, in that instead of the marches and petitions and demonstrations and things like that, that we now learn the systems and so forth, and then that we leverage it and we flip it. So instead of being leveraged by the systems, that we begin to leverage the systems. So as a movement, our entire plan is designed to move masses of people, to move them from lack to abundance.
Give us an example of something that probably went on in your life in your past that caused you to feel like you need to be more financially educated.
Well, you know, again, having some personal struggles, you know, financially, and, you know, making money, but still the money coming in and going back out as fast as it came in, and you know, it really kind of put me in a predicament of really a lot of Americans.
Correct.
And for me, it was not good enough. It was like, look, you know, I'm getting older, and it seems like, Paul, when you get to age 40, all of a sudden, you know, the sense of urgency and the light bulb goes off. It's like, look, I only have an X amount of years to really get this thing right. And so I think in my 40s that everything began to be more heightened in regards to seeking out knowledge about finance, and then really the truth about finance. Not to just do things because I'm told to do it, but, you know, what is really for my best benefit and the benefit of my family and future and legacy and things like that. And so in that search, I found the truth. I found better vehicles, better products that most people are not aware of. And matter of fact, that's been hidden from a lot of Americans, and is the reason why, again, those statistics exist today. And so we're saying, let's change it. Let's change the tide. Let's turn the corner now, because again, too many people, they're good-hearted, they work hard, and at the end of the day, they deserve more from their labor. And so we're here to ensure that they get, you know, what they deserve.
How do you change an individual's mind frame as far as those that can actually feel like they can get that increase in finance like you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, changing the mindset, we know, is the biggest challenge that we face. You know, our mission is changing mindset, building businesses and assets, and leaving legacies. And so changing mindsets, we know that